It's a beautiful day in the neighborhood, a beautiful day in the neighborhood. Would you be mine? Could you be mine? How do you remember that song? If you do, you're my generation. Just saying, just saying. Hey, guess who it is? Yes, it is your hostess, Mr. Mostest. It is Mad Morgan, and you're listening to another episode of Car Musings. Will you be my neighbor? Which really interestingly enough, makes you wonder: do you know your neighbors? Do you know your neighbors? I know we had an episode about neighbors and stuff like that. Making peace with them. But do you know your neighbors? Have you ever talked? You live within feet of these people. You sleep within feet of these people. Everything else, but it's just like, do you actually know their names? Like that's the question of the day, right? So it makes it really interesting to question all this stuff like that. So let's get into this. Check out themadmorgan.com. Yes, the usual drill. Check it out. And share us. Tell people about us. Donate if you can. That'd be awesome. Would appreciate that. Next to that, let's get into today's episode. How's your integrity? How you doing? Are you keeping on the right side of things? Are you doing the right thing? Only you will know. So let's get into this. I know we've talked about this, that, and everything else, but I really got to know one thing, and this is what we're going to talk about today is, with the way the world's going, and hopefully it goes into a positive spin. I am hoping it goes into a positive spin, and, this is not the end of it all, and, all that shit, because there's still stuff I want to do, and I still got to save the world and stuff, So I guess the question I'm posing today is, hey, if, you know, Trump and Putin and all those fuckers actually ruined the planet and decided that that's the end of humankind, what's your plan? That's the question of today. What is your plan if that is the case? If this is the end all be all of it all, what is your plan? Is it to go out with the friggin' bang, or is it to, you know, hunker down? Like, what do you plan on doing? I mean, do you have a prep kit? Do you have a doomsday room? Do you have a bunker? Like, that's the question. If for some reason they said, hey, you have X number of days and that's it, what do you plan on doing? I mean, that's what I'm trying to figure out. You're told there's no chance of coming out of this. You're told there's no chance that, you know, anything's going to survive. And even for a short period of time is going to be those rich assholes that have the bunkers a few miles down in the friggin' earth. Which, if anything, that's the funny part. Here's the irony of this is that the assholes that ruin the planet are the same assholes that are going to be able to survive anything that happens with the planet. Like, that's just the weirdest scenario if you think about it. So, hey, everyone, a second. You assholes are the ones that destroyed this planet. You are the assholes that actually ruined this place. You're the ones that corrupted it, destroyed it, stripped it of everything. You turned the political system the way it is. And you're the assholes that have these billion-dollar bunkers that are going to survive a little longer than the rest of us. Like, you should be the last people that are going to survive this shit. Like, you should be the last people. You should not even be in that capacity to be able to do so. But unfortunately, you're the ones that hold all the cards and you're the one that holds the money. But you're the fuckers that shouldn't survive. There's wholesome, decent, integrity driven people that should survive to rebuild society. And unfortunately, they're the first people to go. It's really fucking one of those things that makes you scratch your head going, what the fuck? So the stupid assholes that are no good for this planet, no good for society, no good for anything are the ones that are going to survive it. Doesn't have to be that way, folks. We're not at that point yet. But just saying. If you give any thought to this, it makes it kind of really stupid, right? It makes it sound, wow. Like, is there any justice? All right. So, what is your plan? I mean, that's the question. I mean, I've been scratching my head thinking about this one, and I'm like, Do you take it as an opportunity to hunt down all those people that have wronged you? Or do you take the time to actually spend the last moments with loved ones? You know? Like, you got to remember, society has fallen apart. There's no laws, there's no governance, there's no nothing. There's no nothing. There's nothing to stop you from doing whatever you want to do because nobody is going to care. Everybody is running for the hills, everybody is running for their lives. So, there's nothing to stop you from doing whatever you feel you need to do. So, what are you going to do? That's the question. You really have to think about this one. You really have to think about this one. Do you dig a hole yourself and try to survive it? Like, do you try to, you know, get over the outcome of all this stuff like that? That's what I basically sit there and I go, what do you do at that point? Some people are going to pray, some people are going to slay, some people are going to just, do whatever they're going to do. But, what are you going to do? Me personally, I thought about this one, and I'm like, whoever survives this is going to be suffering, right? It's going to be a long, hard drill. It's going to be a long, strenuous type scenario for anybody that survives it. So the question is that do you actually take it out on those people that did you wrong and make it fast for them, you know? Or would you rather spend those moments with the people you love? Mind you, in a tear filled whatever the case may be, and however you want to be your last moments. I mean, that's what it comes down to. I mean, how do you figure that out? I mean, that's a tough call. Do you run for the salvation of these billion-dollar bunkers that the rich, corrupted people built? Or do you sit in the field and just wait for it all to come to end? I mean, that's a really tough call. That really is a tough call. Like, I mean, I don't even know what would be my last meal if I was on death row. I just don't know. I've always been optimistic to the point where I want to make a better change in this world. That's the problem with what I've had to deal with is that I've always wanted to make the world better, and unfortunately, when the majority is not playing by fair rules and corrupted and everything else, it makes it very difficult when you're the only one being kind, you're the only one being nice. But whatever you decide to do, stick to it. Make sure it works for you, but give it some thought. I'm not saying you have to, worry about it going to become fruition, but just as a thought experiment, think about it. What would you possibly do? What would be the moments that you would want to be your tail end before, I don't know, nuclear comes to play or whatever the case may be? What would you want it to be? What would you want to do? How would you want it to be known? Hey, maybe you want to leave some sort of mark that you were there, like, I don't know, cave drawings or some recording or, something that if anybody survives or society comes back again, that, it'll be remembered, that you'll be remembered, that they'll know what's happened, all that stuff, right? So that's kind of what you gotta you gotta sit back and go, okay, so how do I do this? How do I do this? So that's kind of where that's at. Anyways, oh, it's a crazy traffic day today. So I mean, I've been thinking about this one, and not that I'm worried about it, because as much as there's a lot of assholes in this world, as much as there's a lot of negative in this world, I'm still optimistic that humankind can get it right. I am still optimistic that we can see the error of our ways. I'm still optimistic that we can turn it around. Because I'm sorry, but whatever one individual culture or one individual people or one individual movement has in mind, there's no perfect solution for the way the world should work. We just all have to learn to get along. We all have to learn to come with some understanding and communicate better and patience and all this stuff like that, and realize that we're all in the same struggle, we're all trying to do the same thing, you know, and appreciate that, understand that, respect that, and just try to be living in harmony. I know it's fucking mission impossible, it seems at times, because everybody's so wrapped up in what they want in their world, in their existence. You know, they don't even think about everybody else, and it is what it is. But only you can control your actions and do what you feel is best. Only you can make the right decisions that are going to influence others to make the world a better place. And it's like, well, what differences could I make? Every little thing you do is a difference in the world, whether it's negative or positive. It all adds up to a big ball of negative or positive. You stop being selfish, you start being given, you start helping out, you try to make a positive change in the world, you start doing all that stuff. All that gets together energy wise. It does. And it influences the overall aura of the planet and the people on it. I know a lot of people are like, "Oh fuck, what are you smoking, Matt Morgan?" I'm not smoking anything. It's common. It's science, man. It's freaking science. Like seriously, not rocket science. It's freaking you know the common rules of freaking science 101 when it comes to energy and how it just changes form. It doesn't actually uh, end, right? So just think about that one for a second as you're trying to wrap your head around all this crap. Just think about how much of a say you actually have in things, how much of an influence you have on things. And if you don't recognize it, then you're just arrogant and ignorant. I'm not sure which is worse, but so really put your best foot forward. More than words. And that's the biggest thing I've tried to emphasize to a lot of people. It's more than fucking words, it's actions. Words mean shit. Words mean shit. They really do. You can up and down the scale and everything else. No, 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 no. That's not going to make a difference. Actions speak louder than words. Action it. Don't just talk about it. Don't just give a bunch of lip service. Action it. That's the biggest thing I want you to recognize. If I get anything to that little thick nugget of your head over all of our episodes, is that you have to action it. Talk is cheap. How cheap are you is the question. So just think about this. Think about it just a little. I know it's difficult for some of you. And wrap your head around it. That's all I'm saying. Wrap your head around it and action it. So your last days, your last moments, what are you going to do? How do you want to be remembered? If there was a chance that you could be remembered in any iota, in any form, in any of the smallest amounts, how would you want to be remembered? Because that's when it comes down to. Or you don't really care. You got yours, you got your fill, you were taken care of, everything's good, tried the best you can, make up every fucking excuse in the book, and you don't care because you're going to be dead. So obviously you don't care about being remembered. All right, that's fine. You don't care about being remembered. And that's up to you. In the greater scheme of things, if you being the way you were, and this is your final moments, and this is how the universe is going to remember you, if you're okay with that, hey, more power to you. More power to you. And I'm hoping that in your living years, people see that as well. That other side of you that, frankly, would tell all in your final moments. But that's on you. You decide. You decide what works for you, and go with it. But at the end of it all, I don't know. Maybe I just have a good imagination. Maybe I just think too much about the fact is that anything's possible. Maybe I'm optimistic in the fact that I think that shit can happen. Like even the most weirdest scientifically sci-fi imaginative type thing, I believe anything is possible. So If my final moments dictated a future civilization that actually found a bit of my DNA, a bit of my memory process, and the last actions or whatever dictated my whole existence, and a future civilization had the ability to bring me back, yeah, I'd be all for it. But I would definitely want to have my whole experience, my whole thought process, the whole way I lived, my whole principles, characteristics, moral compass, everything kept into consideration, because I'm pretty sure that would be the determining factor for why that civilization brought me back. And that's how I would want to be remembered. And that's how I live my life being a good person, and how I live my life being a good person and actually giving to people, and being kind and considerate and everything else. And it starts to sound far fetched and everything else. And it's like, yeah, what are you smoking? Well, no, I just honestly think that anything's possible. I do. I do. I friggin' do. Like, you know. Anyways, you decide how you want to be remembered. You decide whether or not it matters to you. You decide whether or not coming back makes a difference. You decide all that stuff. You just to figure it out. You just go with it. But what's your last moment's going to be like? That's what you got to ask yourself. I know what my last moments are going to be like. You know, I'm still flipping the coin of a few different options, but I have a pretty good idea what I want to do. Life is hard enough to live, and if you have to live with the guilt, if you have to live with your bad decisions, if you have to live with being an asshole, if you have to try to rest your head at night knowing that you could have did something to make the world a better place and you didn't do it, if you have to live with the guilt of taking from somebody, stripping a layer of their soul from them, if you have to live with all that, I think that's worse punishment than somebody putting a bullet in your head. I honestly do. Of all the wrong that you did, and how you hurt people, and how you abused other people, and how you took from other people, and how you were unfaithful, I could go on. All your bad actions are going to be regrets that you have to live with. All your decision making processes are something that you have to live with. And I think that would be worse punishment than a quick death. I honestly do. I mean, there's ways you can make people suffer, but at the end of it all, if they're psychopaths, if they're narcissistics, if they're friggin' so self-centered and self-serving that they don't care about anybody else but themselves, then they probably don't have any guilt because they're seriously fucked in the head. Those people, ah, whatever. They could suffer in other ways, but it's just a negative that the world doesn't need, and unfortunately, we still have to deal with those people. They say that of a medical professional once said that out of 100 people, there's one psychopath. Yeah, well, the population is 8 billion, so that means, oh, do the math on that. That's a lot of psychopaths. Anyways, uh, if this decision about how your final moments are going to be lived and how your final moments of what you want to be remembered is if it's just even jogged anything in your head that helps you be a better person, great. Then my job is done today. And I'm happy to say my job is done today if that's the case. I'm hoping it is. I'm hoping your thoughts got jogged. I'm hoping you came into place to realize things, and it makes you a better person. And you surely know what the definition of integrity means. But time will tell. It's up to you. Think about your last moments. Think about how you want to be remembered. Think about your legacy. And think about whether or not that alien species, eons beyond the time that the freaking planet is no more, or this planet's no more, whether or not they'd resurrect you because of the good things that you did. So, if it matters to you. Anyways, I'm your host, Matt Morgan. Thank you for tuning in to another episode of Car Musings. Um, yeah, just just be good people. That's all you got to do. It's not hard. It really is not. Try to help everybody else. Try to make the better world a better place. Keep your chin up. Know that tomorrow is tomorrow. Just deal with today. And you could do a lot of, you could do the smallest thing today to make things better all the way around. The smallest gesture, kindness, kind word, kind action. You can make the world better just by doing a small little thing, and it's a domino effect. Just do it. Do it. Anyways, again, I'm your host, Matt Morgan. Love you. Thanks for tuning in. Appreciate you. This has been another episode of Car Musings. I am out, and I will see you next episode. Bye for now.